I'm doing a 30-day series called Heart of a Godly Wife. So I will be posting a video every day about being a godly wife. If it sounds like something that you need, make sure you follow along with me on this journey. Today, I'm going to talk about how God views a submissive heart. It took me a while to realize this, but God showed me that a submissive heart isn't about weakness. It's about trusting God more than I trust myself. So let's talk about why a submissive heart is one of the most beautiful gifts that we can offer God. First, I want to talk about what I thought that submissive meant. I used to feel that submissive meant that I would have to lose my voice, lose my identity. I wouldn't have an opinion, that I would have to allow my husband to control me. And to be honest, just thinking about it made me feel uncomfortable. But what surprised me the most about becoming a submissive wife is that it deepened my relationship with God. And how it deepened my relationship with God is it taught me how to trust God, how to not just read His word, but to apply it to my life. And it taught me how to live my life according to God's will. Once I gave in and started submitting to my husband, it taught me that God knows what's best for me. And it taught me to put my trust in God and what His word says. Now I feel more connected to God. Once I start submitting to my husband, it strengthened my marriage. It brought us closer together. It actually changed my heart towards my husband. It taught me how to respect him more. Sometimes once you have been married for a long time, it's so easy to think evil of your spouse or to take everything personal that he says. And sometimes he may say something and I may feel that he meant it in a negative way and he may not have. So once I start submitting to my husband, that is how it actually softened my heart towards him. Once I start submitting to my husband, I focused more on how I was communicating with him, the tone of voice that I used when I talked to him. And by me just watching the way that I communicate with him, eventually he started doing the same thing. Your behavior and the way that you interact with your husband is powerful. And once you start respecting your husband, it will change the way that he interact with you, the way he treat you. Once I start giving my husband respect and allowing God to work on my heart, our whole marriage shifted for the better. Next, I just want to talk about how God views a submissive heart. God sees a submissive heart as beautiful, precious, and powerful. In the Bible, submission isn't about control, it's about trust and surrender. When we submit to our husbands as unto the Lord, Ephesians 5:22 says, God sees it as an act of faith, not just obedience to a man, but trust in him. And really, when you think about it, it does take trust in the Lord. You have to trust God in order to submit to your husband. Because for one thing, in the society that we live in now, it's not popular. And a lot of people look at it as weakness when you decide to submit to your husband. But one thing I do want to share is that when God sees a submissive heart, He sees a woman that He can trust with influence, a vessel that He can use for His glory. a wife who brings honor to her home, and a daughter who is blessing generations. Submission doesn't lower your value. It positions you for greater spiritual authority. 1 Peter 3, the 3rd and through the 4th verse reminds us, your beauty should not come from outward adornment. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. The key point that I want you to realize is God sees a submissive heart as an unfading, precious beauty. It's about having the right spirit posture, not just outward obedience. I am posting a video every day for 30 days about growing as a godly wife. If that sounds like something that you need, make sure you follow so that you won't miss a day. Remember, becoming the wife that God has called you to be is a journey, not a race. Keep growing, keep trusting, and I'll see you tomorrow. May God bless you. Bye.